We're Ryan and Abby, and this is Lost Among Locals. In early 2020, we quit our jobs to go travel the world. So follow along with us as we get lost among the locals looking for the best food, festivals, and people.
Good morning, guys. Well, tomorrow we leave Costa Rica. First thing we gotta do, we gotta go get a COVID test.
And we're both a little bit nervous because, well, one, we've never had one, which that doesn't make me super nervous. I've done it to other people. Sorry, other people. But anyway, we have gone from really high altitude and really cold to really warm and really hot all within 3 days, and we're both feeling a little bit snotty, and so we're just sort of like, why are we taking COVID tests on a day when we feel all allergy-ish and gross?
That wasn't so bad. It does definitely tickle and maybe even like stings a little bit, but it certainly makes your eyes water. She gave me this and I thought I was supposed to put my mask in it, and then she's like, no, put your mask over your mouth. I'm like, oh, sorry. So I put my mask back over my mouth, and then she's like, and then she never told me why she put this in my lap, and then I started crying and I was like, oh, now I see what this is for. This is for catching all the water when someone shoves something up into your brain.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't.
It
just makes your nose feel crazy.
Yeah, it does. It's still kind of itchy and...
All right, we're done.
We're done. So we went into this nice little convenience store, and it had some great options in there. Really good selection of healthy and everything, but we decided that since we just had something shoved up our nose, that we would go with this chocolate pastry thing that's not good for you.
Is this like a church to the patron state of transportation? Because Mary's on a helicopter or airplane, and that angel over there has a boat anchor.
Morning. I don't want a morning. And that's all I have to say about that.
Abby's bag handle is stuck, and we thought we fixed it. And so we didn't buy her a new bag, but if we had time to do, we didn't. So now, when I move the bag today, I gotta be hunched over like this and drag it like this.
He's taking the brunt for me because it hurts my neck to do it.
Well, this has been a very eventful morning. We called an Uber, set it up last night actually. We set up an Uber last night, was ready to get up this morning, got up at like 3:15, got ready about 3:45. Uber said, nope, there's no one gonna come pick us up. We didn't know that. And we have no cash. So we ended up talking to the host, and he said we needed to get a cab, and it only took money or cash. So I ran down the street to an ATM where I knew where the ATM at, but it was closed. So then I had to run back and tell Abby I don't have any cash. And luckily the nice cab guy goes, go ahead and get in. I know where there's an ATM you can use. We'll stop by there on the way.
Yeah, so a taxi is always your last option when you're going to the airport. A taxi is always going to be the most expensive to and from the airport because they know you're not going to miss your flight. So for literally a 15-minute drive, we just paid $50 for a taxi. It would have cost us $10 on an Uber. but Uber in San Jose does not run at 3 o'clock in the morning. They didn't tell us that. They went ahead and scheduled our appointment, but nobody came. So anyway, what you gonna do? Sometimes you get ripped off, and that's just what it is. But as of mid-February, February 16th, I believe, every citizen coming in and leaving out of the U.S. must have a COVID test now. The good part is they do accept the rapid antigen test and the regular PCR test. I believe it has to be within 72 hours. So while we are not going to the U.S., the cheapest flight for us was actually to book 2 separate tickets. And sometimes this happens. So on Google Flights, you should always check separate flights, and you should always look yourself. If there's a city that you know is good to transit through, you can transit through that city on a separate flight. Sometimes it's a little more of a pain in the butt if you're checking bags and stuff, but we don't do that, so it's not a huge deal. So once again, it looks like we've got lucky, and the middle seat is in.
You speak really good English? Yeah.
All right, you guys, so after 2.5 hours here in the Miami airport, we are finally through TSA and all the checkpoints, checked into our next flight, and we are about to enjoy this beautiful Turkish Airlines lounge. So, the reason it took us so long, we remembered on our way in that we had been pre-approved for global entry and TSA Precheck. But since COVID, our main interview had been canceled. Well, now they've got it set up where you can actually do your interview when you come back into the country from a foreign country. So we were able, when we came into customs today, just to check in with the customs officer and go get our interview done there. So that took us about an hour probably. Then after that, since we booked separate flights to save a whole buttload of money, we can talk about that later. One of the downsides to booking separate flights is that you do have to go through TSA checkpoint twice. You will have to go through security. So when we landed this morning in Miami, we got our bags, we did everything through customs, and then we had to go outside the airport and back in to check in with American Airlines again. Since we are traveling internationally again, we had to fill out a health pass form online, which was no big deal. They gave us a QR code to scan, took us directly to the website, which we filled out for our destination country. First, my carry-on bag, he lets Ryan roll right by and then stops me and says, "Ma'am, if you can't zip up the extender on your bag, it doesn't count as a carry-on." So I'm like laying in the floor of the airport, sitting on this bag, trying to get it zipped up, which I did, by the way. And then we get through, go through the checkpoint. I get flagged for my groin. It's because I have a long shirt on that was like getting in the way or whatever down there. Anywho, don't wear a long shirt or baggy pants. It's just kind of a rule. And my shirt was tucked in under my skirt. So anyway, that's what it was. Should have known better. So then my camera bag gets flagged. They pull it out. They're going through it. It was some smoothie powder that I had in there. So they took my smoothie powder, whatever. I kind of forgot it was in there. We just didn't want to throw it away because we had just bought it in Costa Rica. So they take my smoothie powder, and then my purse gets flagged. And sure enough, I forgot to take out the little baby mini water bottle that they gave me on the last flight. So I am a bottled water smuggler, a strawberry smoothie smuggler, and a polka dotted button shirt smuggler. But anyway, now that that's all over, we are here at the Turkish Airlines lounge in the Miami airport, and we're gonna go get us some free food.
A little bit. Got the falafel. Got a brownie.
Nice.
And this, trying to think, remember that it was something cucumber,
Tzatziki?
maybe tzatziki, cucumber wrap. So I went ahead and went with that too.
Yes. If you guys have ever flown with Turkish Airlines or United Arab Emirates, you already know that they have the best food. They just do. Those are your two airlines for like best customer service and food. So the Turkish Airline Lounge is absolutely no different. I also have a falafel, but I chose broccoli and cheese soup, a coffee, a Sprite, and a brownie. So some of these lounges have like a time frame on them. I think this one's maybe 4 hours. But most of them, they're never gonna monitor or care. So you can literally come in here, sit, eat, and drink all day long, and do work. We have chosen to park ourselves at this great big long work table today because we do need to do some stuff on the computer and we need to film, and we don't want to interrupt everybody else who's out in the main lounge. But we'll show you around there in just a minute. I love falafel. Alright guys, so the way that we were able to get into this beautiful airport lounge is with a little guy called Priority Pass. It lets you into over 1,000 airport lounges all over the world, and usually outside an airport lounge it will show you, it'll have this little P in a circle and show you if that lounge accepts Priority Pass. And that even comes with a handy dandy app on your phone which lets you know all the lounges within the airport that allow Priority Pass. And as you've seen, the lounges get you free food, free drinks, a beautiful place to work that's quiet and not in the main area of the airport. So totally worth it if you just do the Priority Pass. However, our Priority Pass actually came free with our membership on our major travel card, which is our Chase Reserve travel card. Now, let me just forewarn you. This is what we call the big boy. The Chase Sapphire Reserve card is an absolutely fabulous travel card. I would compare it, the only thing you can really compare it to is like the American Express, I think gold or platinum card. Now, let me just say, we do not recommend this credit card to everyone. In fact, I don't recommend any credit card to everyone. If you are a person who charges things easily and you have trouble paying it off weekly or monthly, don't even get a credit card. But if you're someone who's pretty stable financially, you're pretty disciplined about your payments, and you got a little extra wiggle room, and if you travel a lot, this is a fantastic card. Let's talk about its benefits. First of all, the Chase card has excellent travel benefits as far as like covering your luggage, covering extra warranty on any product that you buy on it. It has tons of travel benefits as far as like getting you home if something happens, covering your rental car, things like that. So all the basic travel stuff, it's at the highest end of all of those things. That any travel card we get you, this one will get you the highest end of it. So that's all good and perfect. Secondly, it comes with a free subscription to Lyft, which is like Uber. So you can use Lyft anywhere. It also comes with DoorDash and Dash Pass, all complimentary with it. And also the Priority Pass, which gets you into the airport lounges like we've already discussed. Alright guys, to be perfectly honest, there's always a downfall, right? The big downfall on this card is the yearly fee. So this bad boy has a $550 yearly fee. Now, don't freak out just yet. I promise it's gonna be okay. Don't worry guys, I got you. With this $550 fee, you'll pay it at the beginning of the year or whenever your renewal date is. The next $300 that you spend on your account, if it is on anything to do with travel, boat, train, Airbnb, hotel, flight, anything to do with gas or groceries, that next $300 is completely and totally free to you. It just comes right off your bill with a big red negative sign on your statement, and it's beautiful. It's like you never spent it. So that leaves us with $250 left to go. Now, we already mentioned that Priority Pass comes with this card. You can actually buy Priority Pass for $100. However, that leaves us with 1, $50. If you buy it separately, it's not really as good of a pass. You only get like one free visit, and then it's like $32 every time after that. Whereas our priority pass that comes with the card, we actually have 2 people can get in free, and we can also bring 2 guests, and it's free every single time with no fee. So ours is a way better deal, way more than worth this $100 fee that you would pay to buy it by itself. And honestly, for us, we would spend way more than that $100 just eating airport food in a year. So if you fly more than once or twice a year, you know how much airport food costs. And if you can eat 2 meals in a lounge instead of 2 meals in the airport, you have just saved a ton. So it's definitely worth it for us. So now we're down to $150. So how do the points on the Chase card work? Well, they work like this. For every dollar that you spend, you get on anything, you get 1 point. For every dollar that you spend on travel, gas, or groceries, you get 3 points. Oh, and dining. So restaurants too. Groceries, dining, travel, gas, you get 3 points per dollar. You can cash these points in to buy all kinds of things on Chase's app, or you can actually book your travel through the Chase travel account, and your points will be worth even more. Generally, a credit card point is worth about 1 to 1.2 cents per point. If you cash them in for travel, they're worth 50% more on the Chase card, so 1.5 cents for travel. So this $150 we have left, if we turn that into cents and points, that's 15,000 cents, which means that would be 10,000 points that you would have to rack up to cover that $150. 10,000 points, if you do 3 points per dollar spent, means that you would have to spend $3,333 a year to make up for that $150. I don't know about you, but we do that very easily because we do put everything on a credit card and pay it off at the end of the month. Let's just use the 50,000 point opening bonus as an example. You get 50,000 points for joining the Chase card and spending $4,000 in your first 3 months. So don't join unless you have a big purchase coming up. With those 50,000 points at 1.5 cents per point, that's $750 that you can use for travel. So if you book travel on your Chase card, you will get $750 free travel just like that. We actually used ours to buy our Iceland flights last year, which of course got canceled, unfortunately. I wanted to see the whales. Someday. Anyway, this is not the only travel credit card that we have. We actually have a Barclay Arrival Plus card, which has a $95 a year fee, again, made up for completely easily by the points that we get off of that card. It is a 2 point per dollar spent across the board, and it is a fabulous travel card. It also has an introduction bonus worth probably 50 or 60,000. I'm not really sure at the moment. I haven't looked at it recently, but we've had that card for probably 10 years, and it is faithful, trusty. The customer service is absolutely amazing. We also have a high interest savings account through Barclay. We love their company. Like I said, their customer service is awesome. Every time I've called them and said, hey, this charge isn't mine, they say, no problem, Miss Davis, and take it right off. And so, love that card. If you're just starting to travel, maybe start with something like that instead. But if you travel quite frequently, this is your fella. Look at the look. Okay, maybe it's luck. Or maybe it's because we have a huge plane. I mean, this is a big plane, like 6 across, big cedar, long haul, large cargo plane, and there's only 44 people on it. I'm not sure why they choose to take this huge plane to our destination, but they did, and we're not complaining. And now I guess it's time to tell you where we're off to. Welcome to Guatemala.
Everywhere. There's no good Nutella.
I'm covered in powdered sugar. It's going well.
So I'm a water snuggler, a strawberry smoothie snuggler, and I'm trying to smuggle, not snuggler.
You can say snuggle.
Oops.